So, we were like about 12. I went sledding this one time. There was this pretty big hill near where we lived. And I hit this patch of black ice and swerved into a tree, which was pretty fun. And then my older brother rolled this gigantic snowball, like the base of a snowman, onto me from the top of the hill. I'll see it then. And I used to go for kids with ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, which are pretty similar. And the kids in my cabin would bully me because I had colitis instead of Crohn's. Like, fucking toilet calling the porta potty black. And when I was in middle school, I used to play the cello, not the worst. So I was like out of 6. And the kids who sat behind me used to bully me and my friend Spencer because we read books. Exactly. And a while back, I was walking to work, and I saw this cat, this little itty-bitty cat, staring up at the window to this bookstore. And I checked what was in the window. There's a whole bunch of Star Trek novelizations. So I turned to that cat and I said, "You're a fucking nerd." Get it? So I have not a very great relationships with my grandparents. And like, my dad's grandma used to play this game called Hand and Foot, but was not very good at taking care of her own hands or feet. And in her lifetime, she had 3 artificial knees. So I don't know how many knees you have. Most humans I've met have about 2 tops. I have at least 1, but that's not saying much. So like, can you imagine going through life being that carefree about your fucking joints, where you get like not 1, not 2, but 3 fucking metal knees? She was a lot more metal than me. It is. And my other grandma, a while ago, fell off her roof because she was cleaning her gutters. And while in the hospital, she called me up on the phone and was like, "Are you still alive?" And I was like, "Yeah, for now." Except she didn't actually call me. She called my mom and was like, "Yo, is she still alive?" And this was the day I was graduating college. But she called my mom because I haven't spoken to her since my other grandma's funeral 3 years ago, when we threw her into the ocean. It was pretty breezy. So I used to go on a lot of road trips by myself because it's pretty fun to just zone out and drive 100 miles an hour. But one time I was driving through this town called Clarksville, which is a shithole, and I fell asleep on the interstate and flipped my car 6 times until I hit a tree and woke up in the hospital, which is probably the least exciting way I've ended up in a hospital, but y'all don't get to hear about the others.
Oh man.
Well, at least not all of them. And recently I went up to Kansas City and almost fell asleep on the interstate when I was driving through Joplin, but Then suddenly, someone set off some fireworks nearby, and I was like, what the fuck? Because it was October. Who the fuck sets off fireworks in October? Yeah. So, I have this problem with substances, where like, if I start to consume something, and I don't get 7 gallons within an hour, I just kind of go, I just snap. Whether it be air, or water, or mashed potatoes, or the blood of my enemies. And I don't know if you know how much blood your average enemy will have, but it's not that much. It's only about 1.5 gallons. So like, a while back the police got onto me and were like, hey Zoll, we need you to stop killing so many people. And I was like, give me free blood, and I will. And then I killed them. They were pretty tasty. So, as I said, I have substance abuse problems. And like, a few months ago, my friend had this party at our house. And I had started drinking at 3 p.m. So by the time the party started, I was already blackout. Exactly. So I woke up at 1 a.m. while the party was still going, and I was like, fuck, there's a whole bunch of people in my house, so I'm dying. So I vowed to never drink again, but I've been slowly failing ever since. This summer I was on a plane for the first time. And I don't know if you've ever been on a small plane before, but I'm pretty tall. And the plane I was on was like 5'11" tops. So it's like, But the fun part was when I tried watching the 2003 cult movie, The Room, but forgot about all of the sex scenes, which kind of terrified the little Asian boy sitting next to me. So I switched to watching Fooly Cooly, which is slightly less fucked up. One of my favorite movies is Being John Malkovich. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's about this puppeteer who finds a portal into the mind of John Malkovich and then uses it to fuck his coworker. And like, if there's one thing that turns me on sexually, it's being controlled by other people into situations I don't normally care for, but consensually. It's pretty fun. You should try it. I used to go to a lot of concerts when I was younger and had a lot of unfortunate things happen to me because of it. Like, when I was in the 9th grade, my friend hit me up for his birthday party to go to this party, or concert, I mean. But he didn't tell me who was playing. And I got there, and it was Nickelback. So I had to listen to Nickelback for 3 hours. And that's why we don't talk anymore. When I was in 12th grade, I went to the Bare Naked Ladies, which is pretty fun. They sing all of their hit. And as I was leaving and walking to my car, I got mugged. But, you know, they stole all $0 of my dollars and punched me in the face. It was pretty fun. And a few years ago, I drove out to Tulsa to see They Might Be Giants, which was pretty excellent. But as I was trying to escape Tulsa, because the only way to leave Tulsa is to escape, you know that. My car's engine caught on fire, and I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it's happened to me twice. It's not fun. Especially not in February, when you have no money to get a hotel room. Or a bus ticket. And the next morning, I finally got my car to like a mechanic. And they told me it would cost $4,000 to fix it. But I had paid $2,000 to acquire that car. So I pretty much said, fuck it. And called up my parents, and they bought me a bus ticket. Which was pretty nice. But it took 2 days to get from Tulsa to Fayetteville via bus, which is ridiculous, because it only takes 2 hours by car. But when I finally got back to my dorm room that night, my roommate was practicing autoerotic asphyxiation 20 feet from my front door. I don't know if you've ever seen someone you have to live with do that before. It's not fun, is it? No. So I left, and then went and slept with a friend. And then the next morning, I came and burned our entire building down. Or whatever.
Cleanse it.
You gotta. What's next? So, I suffer from, like, suicidal tendencies and all that shit. And, like, a few years ago, I took 27 ibuprofen at once with a shot of Jägermeister. And unfortunately, I woke up 27 hours later. I was like, shit, I fucked that up. But the worst part was that I had a calculus test that morning. Because education is what really kills. Nah, it's not. And then about a year after that, I was sitting in my living room when the urge came to stab myself with a pencil 27 times. So I started bleeding out a little, as you do, and passed out in the pool of my own blood. So my roommate came home a few hours later and was like, "Are you okay?" Obviously I wasn't. But they went and took me and bought me a Frosty. Pretty frosty of them.
Frosty is so there.
So as you have gathered, I'm pretty good at dying, but I'm really shitty at staying dead. Just saying. So the time I died the longest, like my heart actually stopped, was when I was 17. I was suffering from a condition known as toxic megacolon, which is my band name. Although you'll never hear me play live because my music sounds kind of like explicit diarrhea. It's bad. It's really bad. But like, so I went into the hospital to seek treatment for this condition, because if it's not treated, it will kill you. But even if it is treated, it might kill you still. Like it did me. It's pretty cool. You should try it. Dying. It's pretty fun. So yeah, I was in the operating room with my guts hanging out and all that shit, when my heart stopped for 10 minutes. And like, when I finally regained consciousness 3 hours later, the surgeon came up to me and was like, "Yo, dude, you fucking died." Except not in that tone of voice or with that wording at all. Because they were a medical professional and not me. But I was a suicidal 17-year-old. So my response was, "Why the fuck did you save me?" Anyway, I've been Zoll. Thank y'all.
You're welcome.